Still admitting some people. All right. Welcome, everybody. You guys can all hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And just real quick before we get started, yes, if you can have cameras on, would love to see faces. I do love to just be able to see everybody. If you're in a place where you can't, totally understand. Um, and then as far as the chat goes, there's going to be a couple times where I'll ask a question and just invite you to drop some answers in the chat. With this being recorded, right now I'm going to have everybody stay on mute just so that that way when I upload the recording to send out to those who are not able to join us live, it's not bouncing between um, frames of people talking. But And then as far as the chat goes, if you have questions, please hold the questions until towards the end. I will give an opportunity for you to ask questions. I haven't been diagnosed, but I swear I have ADHD. So if the chat is going crazy while I'm trying to talk, I get distracted very easily, and then I'll forget what I'm doing or saying. So, with that being said, can you all see my screen okay? My screen share for the slides? Give me a thumbs up. Yes, awesome. All right. Well, welcome. I am so grateful that you guys are all here. Lots of new faces for me. I'm so excited. And tonight we're going to be exploring something that has completely changed my life and the lives of so many people that I have worked with. So this masterclass, it's the science and soul of breathwork. So we're going to be talking about the science of why breathwork works and the body, the nervous system, and the deeper transformation that happens when you begin to work with your breath intentionally. So, by the end of tonight, my hope for all of you is that you don't just understand breath work, you get to feel it. And so, just real quick, to allow everybody to land and arrive here, let's just take a moment and just take a couple deep, slow breaths together. You can keep your eyes open, you can close your eyes, whatever feels best. But let's just go ahead and just take a deep breath in through our nose and exhale, let it go softly. Let's do that two more times. Deep breath in and exhale, let it go. Last one. Let this be your deepest breath you've taken all day. Good, good. And I would love for you all to just drop in the chat what brought you here today. What brought you to wanting to sign up and learn more about breath work? And also would love to know from anybody if you're completely brand new to breathwork. If you're like, I have never tried breathwork before, this is so new to me. I've heard about it, just haven't done it. Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, total newbie here. Welcome, Shay. So excited. So excited. Yeah. Who else? Who else? What brought you here? Yeah, Carrie. Ah, yes, Chelsea, that was at one of the Barefoot and Free events with Candace. Yeah. Oh, Carrie, or wanting or needing more. Yeah, Joanna. Yeah. Wanting to understand more what is happening in the body when we practice. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's such an interesting modality when you really sit down and break it down. And we'll go ahead and let's just start. Let's keep it going. So before we really dive into the nitty-gritty and all the fun stuff, I do want to start with introducing myself, especially because there's lots of new faces here, and tell you a little bit about my story. And there was a time when I was so incredibly exhausted, I was disconnected, I was constantly overwhelmed, and I would come home from work and have absolutely no energy left. I'd have no energy to cook, no energy to clean, no energy to connect with the people that I loved. And life felt like survival. Like it was just every day. It was wake up, go to work, come home exhausted, do it again. And at the same time, it felt normal. And that's what scared me. I was stuck in what I thought was my safe job, which that is a story for another time. But, before I started doing breath work, I was a full-time bartender and I had kids at a very young age. My kids were young at the time. And I always had the story of I'm too old to go back to school and I don't know what to do. And I'm just going to be that old cranky bartender for the rest of my life that nobody even wants to go and order a drink from. And then I found breath work. And that's when everything changed for me. And so my first time doing breath work, my friend came to me, this was January of 2020, and she's like, "You should come do breath work with me." And I'm like, "What is breath work?" And she goes, "We do a breath pattern, we listen to loud music, and some people scream and some people cry." And I'm like, "That sounds terrible." Like, why do I want to go and do something like that? She's like, "You just need to experience it." Like, okay. So I go, I tried it, and it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. And the only way that I can really explain the experience was when I got done, I felt like I took 5 shots of tequila without feeling drunk. Like I just felt so alive, so in my body, and just like ready to go. What's next? And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I want to do this again. So I go back, I do it again, and I didn't get the same experience. And I felt like in that moment, I didn't get anything. Little did I know it led me to where I am today. At the time, I had no idea. And so I got curious and I wanted to know more about breathwork. What is breathwork exactly? How does it work in the body? Why did I enjoy one experience and did not enjoy the other experience? And so I started going down the rabbit hole. And of course, in 2020, I don't want to say breathwork was new because breathwork's not new. It's been around forever, but it wasn't as popular as it is now. So now if you go out and you Google, you're going to get a lot more answers. For me, it was just training program, training program. And there was only a few of them. So I finally was like, I'm just going to go ahead and take a training program and just see. I want to learn more. Had no idea that I was going to take the training program and become a facilitator. And in that time, I learned so much about myself, my body, and my nervous system. I learned that I have lots of childhood trauma that I never realized. I just thought that my childhood was normal. And the more I started learning, I'm like, oh, that really wasn't normal at all. And I was able to create and cultivate a whole new relationship with not just myself, but my past experiences. And in that time, I was, which I still am, heavily into manifestation. And in that time, I'm like, there is something missing. And I couldn't quite figure it out until I came across breathwork and started learning more about breathwork. And that's when I remembered or realized that we can't truly manifest our desires if we're still holding on to the past. And most of the time, we're holding on to the past at an unconscious level. And this is where breathwork comes in. And so we'll get into all of that stuff here shortly, but in that time, after I graduated my training program, I've taken another breathwork training program in the meantime. I ended up leaving my safe job and stepping into coaching. Still was unsure of where breathwork was going to lead me. And then fast forward to January of last year, which I was facilitating before. I was doing small events in the Lansing area. I was doing some virtual events. But January of last year is where everything shifted. And I'm like, I need to step away from the coaching. And I'm going to start my own breathwork training program so I can teach other people how to safely facilitate breathwork. Because I started seeing all of these programs online that are like weekend long breathwork training programs. I'm like, that's not safe. There's so much that you're working with when it comes to the body and the nervous system. And that's a lot of my story. I stepped into it back in January. Ryan is on. He is one of my current students right now. And it's just been such a fantastic, exhilarating ride. And again, back in 2020, I had no idea I'd be where I am here today. It just, or even speaking in front of people I don't know. I used to be terrified. Absolutely. I did a masterclass a few months ago and I was still terrified to speak in front of people I don't know. And it's become so much easier for me. And I think, not think, I know a lot of it has to do with doing the breath work and healing and coming to terms with some of these stories that my body was holding and carrying. And so today, what you'll receive is I'm hoping you'll get a clear understanding of what breath work actually is, why mindset alone doesn't work, and the science behind breath work in the nervous system. I will also be guiding all of you through a short 20, 25-minute-ish breathwork experience. And then also clarity on how to use this in your life or possibly even your work. So this isn't just information that you'll be receiving. This is experiential, and you'll learn why. Because breathwork is an experiential modality. It's not something that you can fully explain. I can tell you all the science behind it, but if somebody came up to you, just like I did with my friend, and asked, "What is breathwork?" It's how do you explain it? It's very much experiential. So why mindset alone doesn't work. We've been told to just think differently and everything changes, right? Do all the affirmations, think positively. But here's the thing. Mindset targets the conscious thinking mind. And where stress and trauma live is in the body. And so because stress and trauma live in the body, you cannot mindset your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. We have to work with the body to get ourselves out of that dysregulated nervous system. So, some nervous system states, and I want to make this real for you. So, as I describe these, I want you to just notice what feels most familiar to you. And also know that each one that I go through, you may be like, oh, I relate to that one. I relate to that one. You might relate to all of them. Now, there's parts of me that relate to every single one of these different nervous system states. So we have fight, and this is where you might feel angry, irritable, controlling, easily frustrated. Your body starts to tense. Your tense jaw, your fists start to clench, your chest starts to get all tight. You might feel hot in the body. And you might even have a belief along the lines of, I have to protect myself. I am under attack. And some examples might be snapping at your partner. They drop something on the floor and you just instantly react. Arguing over small things, which aren't small things when your nervous system is in this state. Feeling like everything is a battle. And what's really happening is your nervous system perceives danger and tries to create safety by pushing back or fighting for control. And then we have flight. And this is where you might possibly feel more restless, anxious, overwhelmed, or panicked. Your heart rate starts racing, your breath becomes shallow, and maybe you have a difficult time sitting still. There is the underlying belief of, I have to get away or I'll lose control. And some examples of being in the flight state is overworking, staying busy all the time, avoiding tasks, having that endless to-do list that is just pages long and it takes every ounce of effort to even check one of those off. And what's really happening is your system feels unsafe and is trying to run from the stressor physically, mentally, and emotionally. And out of these two, which there's a couple more that we'll head into here in a moment, out of these two, I would love to know which one do you feel you resonate the most with? Is there one that you lean towards the most over the other, or do you feel like it's kind of a balance between the two? You're either one or the other. Both, yes. Yes, same, same. Yeah. And then we have freeze. And yeah, recently more so flight. With freeze, this is where our body starts to feel numb. We start to shut down, maybe feel stuck, hopeless, disconnected. In our body, it might feel heavy, low energy, difficulty moving or speaking. And the underlying belief is it's too much. I can't do anything. I'm powerless. And some examples that can show being in the freeze state is, and scrolling endlessly. Show of hands, how many here falls down the rabbit hole of the doom scroll on social media? Yep, same, same. Another one is not returning texts. I'm also that one. If you were to see my home screen, you'd probably be sickened to your stomach with how many unopened text messages I have. I am not going to share because it is disgusting. Canceling plans. And what's really happening is your system has overloaded and goes into shutdown to survive. And that's a protective pause. I also want to go back to the text message thing. A lot of it is spam. It's not me just avoiding my friends, I promise. But it is a toxic trait of mine. And then we have fawn. And this is a people pleasing, anxious to be liked, afraid of conflict. And in your body, you might feel tension in the chest, tight throat, smiling through discomfort. Hey, this is the one where, maybe somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, how are you doing today? And you're just like, I'm fine. And really deep down, you're not fine. Or this is also where we are saying yes to others when it's not true to ourselves. And it doesn't feel good to us because perhaps we don't want them to be mad at us. So it's more of the people pleasing area. And so an underlying belief is if I keep everyone happy, I'll be safe. So again, saying yes when you want to say no, over apologizing, abandoning your own needs. And what's really happening is your nervous system seeks safety through connection or approval, even at the cost of self. How are we feeling with these two? Relate to one, both, all four, all the above? Yeah. Yeah. And so when with these nervous system states, these are brilliant survival strategies. These are not flaws. Okay. So this is just to bring awareness to how we are feeling, because when we can start to bring awareness to our different nervous system states, then we can learn how to work with it. Some signs that you are living in dysregulation. You wake up already exhausted. We can get 7, 8, even 9 hours of sleep and still open your eyes feeling like a truck hit you. And that's because your nervous system never actually comes out of fight, flight, or freeze, even during sleep. So in those moments, it's not that you're lazy or unmotivated. Your system is just still in survival. It's still trying to survive. You can't rest even when you try. So maybe you finally carve out time to rest, but your mind races, your body fidgets, or you feel this underlying guilt like you should be doing something, which I feel like that one is very common for a lot of people. The second we slow down, it's like, well, I should be doing something. For the longest time, when I first started working from home back in 2021, and I'm working most of the day, but there's still dishes in the sink. And I would feel guilty that I'm not doing those dishes. And when it comes to being dysregulated, it disconnects us from our ability to feel safe doing nothing. So rest doesn't feel restful. It feels threatening to a system that's wired for constant output. And this is also why oftentimes when we find ourselves giving ourselves that space to rest, what do? We pull out our phone and we start scrolling because unconsciously we now feel like we're doing something. Now we feel like we're actually getting stuff done. Another one is you've lost joy, clarity, or connection. And this one is really subtle, but it does cut deep. You start to notice that the things you used to love no longer light you up anymore. Maybe you feel numb, indifferent, detached from your purpose, your people, or even your own body. And burnout can make you feel like you've lost yourself. But I promise that version of you is still in there. It's just buried underneath the noise and the overwhelm. And then you feel overwhelmed, short fused, and easily triggered. So when your nervous system is dysregulated, every little thing feels like too much. Those dishes in the sink, the unanswered text, your partner's tone of voice even can feel like too much. It all feels bigger than it is, and it's because your body is literally running on fumes. It's not being dramatic. It's not being overly sensitive. It's because you've been carrying too much for too long without a way to release it. And one of the last signs here is you crave purpose, but you feel stuck in survival. So maybe deep down, you know you're meant for more. You feel the whisper that says, this isn't it, but you just don't have the capacity to act on it. Your days are filled with trying to stay afloat, not because you're ungrateful, but because survival mode doesn't leave room for expansion. Stress robs you of the clarity and the confidence to chase what you're here for. But that doesn't mean it's gone. It just means we need to clear the static so you can hear yourself again. How are we feeling? How is all of this landing for you guys? Yeah. Thumbs up? Yeah. So if you're seeing yourself in any of these signs, I want to say this clearly. You're not failing. You're responding exactly how a wise nervous system responds when it's been in overdrive for too long. And this is what this masterclass is all about today. So, stress doesn't just live in your mind, it lives in our body. And so, chronic stress floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline. And this keeps the nervous system stuck in fight or flight, even during rest. The brain can shrink from chronic stress. Studies show how long-term stress affects the prefrontal cortex, which is our decision-making part of the brain, and our hippocampus, which is our memory and emotional regulation part of the brain. Stress increases the risk of heart disease by 40 to 50%. Like that to me is a big sign that we need to find something to be able to release stress from our body. Your breath becomes shallow when you're burned out or stressed. And so when you are in one of those different nervous system states, your breath changes. It becomes shallow, perhaps it becomes quick. And this signals a danger to the brain and keeps the body in this stress loop. Stored stress impacts immunity, digestion, and hormone balance. It can often manifest as gut issues, sleep problems, anxiety, and even brain fog. Stress often comes with freeze, not just fight or flight. So that numb, checked out, can't move feeling, that's also a survival response. The vagus nerve is the key to healing. This is the wandering nerve that runs through the body and controls our parasympathetic, which is our rest and digest state of the nervous system. And breathwork helps to activate the vagus nerve. It helps to tone the vagus nerve. And so, if this is you, again, no, this isn't your fault. It's biological. It's not a mindset failure. It's not part of the think all the positive affirmations and everything's going to be fine situation. And so you cannot think your way into safety. There's so many healing methods that miss this mark. We try to change our thoughts. We try to discipline ourselves. We try to willpower our way through anxiety or burnout. But the nervous system doesn't respond to logic. It responds to safety. You cannot think your way into safety. You have to signal safety to the body. And the fastest way to do this is through our breath. And this is where science and soul meet. Breathwork is a trauma-informed, body-based healing modality. So when it is done properly, it's not forcing, it's not re-traumatizing, it is safe, it is titrated, and it meets your nervous system exactly where it is. So why breathwork works? Breathwork is accessible at any given moment. We can access it driving in the car. You can access it right in this moment here. Breathwork helps to move energy, not just in the body, but out of the body. So when we have the stored stress, the stored emotions that may have never been processed, breathwork helps to release that from our body. Breathwork can down-regulate and up-regulate our nervous system. So in some of those different nervous system states where if you are in fight mode, your nervous system's up here, we can use breathwork to bring our nervous system down. If, let's say, you are in freeze, so your nervous system is down here, we can use breathwork to bring your nervous system up because we want to find that happy medium when it comes to releasing stress from our body. And by using the breath, you do not need to talk it out. This is where talk therapy is. And when we talk it out, it still lives here. It still lives down here. You have to breathe it out. Oops. Hang on, I'm admitting somebody. Okay, perfect. So the science, and this is where a lot of people want to know, how does breathwork work? I want to know the science behind it because when it comes to breathwork, it can sound very woo-woo, very witchy. And yeah, sure, we can have all of that be part of it. Absolutely. But there's also science backed behind breathwork. And when we practice conscious connected breathing, something measurable does happen in the body. Carbon dioxide levels shift, and this changes the brain activity. So the thinking part of the brain that organizes, overanalyzes, judges, all of that, that whole part of the brain quiets down. And that's why people often say when they do breath work, they drop out of their head and drop into their body. Or they'll come out of breath work and say, wow, that went by really fast and I didn't have a single thought. And it's because we're shutting that part of the brain down. The emotional brain becomes more accessible, and stored emotions that hasn't been processed can finally surface safely without having the story. Because if you think about it, it's the story that's the most painful part. So when we think of an experience in our past, and it instantly starts to bring up these emotions, we want to shut them right down because it feels uncomfortable. But it's the thought connected to that emotion that is the most uncomfortable part. But if we can shut that thought down, go into the body, process that emotion that's stuck, now when we think about it, it has a different response to the body. The vagus nerve, which governs regulation, becomes stimulated, and this allows the nervous system to reset. Here's the part that fascinates me the most. Many of us have stress cycles that were never completed, moments where we had to suppress emotion to survive. And breathwork allows the body to finish what it couldn't finish before. And again, because we had shut down that thinking part of the brain, you can go through a breathwork journey, and if emotions come to the surface, you may not even know where the emotion's coming from. And that's beautiful because we don't have to talk it out. We are processing that experience through just the body alone. Again, this isn't woo woo, it's actually physiological. And yet it feels spiritual because when your nervous system regulates, clarity returns, confidence returns, and you return. You start to remember who you are. So, here are some things that some clients have said after a breathwork journey. Wow, this one journey did more than 10 years of therapy. I had no idea I was still holding on to the past of what my mom has done. Thank you. I realize I need to quit my job. I am way too stressed and unhappy and wanting something else, but never believed I was capable of following my dreams until now. I have been doing breathwork for over a year with you, and I can say I now let myself cry and feel my emotions without stuffing them down outside of breathwork. My my sleep, I slept. I'm going to assume it's I slept. I slept the best I have ever slept after the breathwork. My mind for the first time in a long time was calm and clear. I had been wanting to shift careers for a long time, but unsure what I wanted. During breathwork, I realized what I wanted to do and went home, applied for the new position, and the next day they freaking called me. Like, what is this magic? So that's what's beautiful when it comes to breathwork is we don't have to use breathwork to heal trauma. We get to use breathwork for whatever it is that we want. If we just want clarity, regulate the nervous system, and you get clarity. You become so connected to yourself and your truth during breath work that when you start to ask yourself questions, you get the answers. So instead of just hearing about it, are we ready to experience breath work? Are we ready to do some breath? How we feeling here, guys? Let's check in real quick. Let's check in. Yeah. Yeah, thumbs up. Beautiful. Ready. All right, guys. So before we do the breath work, one question that I want you to just take a brief moment to reflect on is if nothing was in your way, who would you be 12 months from now? Just allow that to land, whatever version. And if it feels scary, that's okay. That's okay. Let it. I've got you. Yeah. And so with the breath work, hang on, I need to take a sip. With the breath work today, you can do this either seated or lying down. If you, again, those of you who have cameras on, if you're able to leave the cameras on, I would love for that so that I can be able to see you. When we do breath work, there is so much that can come to the surface, and we never know what's going to come to the surface. And this is oftentimes why people might feel nervous going into breath work because they have no idea what's going to come up. And then we're up here in our thinking mind and stories are coming up. When you do breath work, your body is only going to bring to the surface what you're ready to have brought to the surface. Whether it's in one of these short practices or if it's in a long journey, your body's only going to bring up what you're ready to have brought up, but also you are the one in control. Okay. So everything that I say is an invitation. You follow how your body is feeling, but the invitation is to find your edge. I don't want you jumping off the edge, but can you find your edge? And so the way that it's going to work today is we're just going to start with, it's going to be right around 25-ish minutes. A typical journey with me is right around an hour. And we're going to start with just noticing your breath, just landing here in the moment. And I'm going to be guiding and cueing the entire time, so don't feel like you need to remember any of this. But we're going to start off with just noticing the breath. As we start to notice the breath, I'm going to invite you to start to deepen your breath. And then from there, we're going to transition into breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth in a continuous pattern. So think of it as a circle. So you breathe in, breathe out. So it's an even breath in and the same even breath out. Okay. From there, we're going to transition into what's called the three-part breath. So we'll do a practice together. So if you want to place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart, sometimes this is the best way to be able to feel it. Because if it feels clunky and not normal, you guys, that's normal because it's not our normal way of breathing. But you're going to do open mouth breathing and you're going to breathe one breath into your belly, second breath into your chest, and then exhale. So two inhales, one exhale. And again, it's going to feel clunky in the beginning. So if it feels clunky and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, if you inhale and you exhale, you're doing it right. And the invitation with this breath is to really focus on depth. We want depth over speed today. We're not trying to super activate the body, so we want to really focus on just slow, controlled, deep breathing and staying conscious and present with your breath throughout. And you get to play with that three-part breath. So let's say you want to do, let's say 50% of your breath into your belly, 50% into your chest, and then full exhale. Or perhaps you want to do 60% into your belly, 40% into your chest, and then a full exhale. Is it helpful to be in a quiet place? My hubby is in a meeting in the room next door. I can move if it would be helpful. That is up to you. You're not going to be, unless you need to scream and yell and cry super loud. Um, that's completely up to you. Okay. So wherever you feel the safest is where I would recommend you sitting down for this one. And then after we do the three-part breath, I'm going to invite you guys back into breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth again. And we're going to do that for just about a minute or so until you naturally start to release that breath. And again, I'll be guiding and cueing. So if we're still, I'll invite you to release that breath at that point. Some things that may come up while you're doing breath work is you might feel some physical sensations. And this can be anywhere from feeling tingling in the body. You might feel buzzing in the body. You might feel vibrations. You might feel it in your face. You might feel it in your hands. You might feel it all over your body. You might feel it only on your right side. It's going to vary. And each time you do breath work, it's going to be different. There's also possibility of physical pain. We're human. We live in a high stress world. We live up here most of the time. So when we start to drop into our body, we might start to notice some aches and pains that we didn't notice before. Or if you have a current or past injury, you might notice some pain in those areas, and that's because our breath knows exactly where it needs to go. If there is a past injury or current injury, there's also an emotional attachment to it. So the invitation is just continue with your breath. But if at any point you need to slow down the breath or stop the breath pattern, please listen to that and honor that. There is also what's called tetany. This doesn't happen to everybody. And if it does happen, know that this is normal and it will go away. But what tetany is where our hands will start to create this claw-like figure and you physically feel like you cannot move your hands. And this is normal. Again, it's not going to happen to everybody, but it might happen to somebody here today. If it happens, it is normal. And it is because of the carbon dioxide and oxygen rate happening at a quicker rate than what our bodies are used to. But also energetically, we release energy from our hands, out of our mouth, and out of our feet. And that is where you would most likely experience the tetany. And if that happens, slow down the breath, deepen the breath, or release the breath fully and come back to it if and when it feels safe for you. But also know that I have some breathers who are like, I like when that happens. I know the breath is doing something. So it's normal. And some people breathe right through it, but if it's uncomfortable for you, then listen to that and slow the breath down. Also doing a breath hold can be supportive too. And then also emotions. Emotions are very common, but also if emotions don't come to the surface, that is also common. So just allowing for what needs to come through for you to come through for you today. Whether that's a physical experience, an emotional experience, just really giving yourself the permission to go deep into your body to experience. Do we have any questions before we get started? If you have questions too, you can just pop off mute real quick. We feel good? All right, guys. Well, find your comfy, cozy position, whether you stay seated or lying down. If you stay seated, please know that you have the possibility of feeling a little lightheaded. Sometimes lying down, especially if it's your first time, might feel more supportive. And just a sound check that you can hear my voice and the music. Perfect. And just take this moment and allow yourself to land.
Let the stillness begin. Feel the light in your chest. Let your soul
Feeling the ground underneath you.
You've been chasing, always trying, running fast, but never finding what was waiting deep inside. A peace that never hides.
Allowing your body to just become heavy.
Fight, just the calm of endless light.
Allowing yourself to feel held and supported.
The love that sets you free.
Softening just 1% more. There's nothing to fix, nothing to force. It's just you in this moment.
You'll find the truth your spirit knows. Spiritual.
You start to just bring some awareness to your breath. We're not changing it just yet. Just notice.
And feel your heart renew.
Just notice the gentle rise and fall with each in-breath and each out-breath.
Walk slow, breathe deep, stay kind. Leave the heavy world behind. Every tear, every scar led you right to where you are. You don't need to prove your worth. You've been magic since your birth. Every moment,
And earlier, I had asked if nothing was in your way, where would you be 12 months from now? Let that version, let that version of you gently come into your awareness. Notice how this version of you stands. Notice how they breathe. Notice how they move through the world. This version already exists. Right now, we're simply clearing the path between you and this version. And as you start to breathe in through your nose, exhaling out through your mouth. That's it. Breathing in, filling up. Exhale, letting it go. That's it.
It feels like the world's on fire.
Starting to bring the connection between your inhale and your exhale. Finding that circular pattern with your breath.
We point our fingers, forget to see the change we need starts with you and me. Look inside, don't wait for someone else. Every choice begins with yourself.
You're safe.
Every heart you mend starts from within, is where it begins.
Start to inhale possibility and to exhale limitations.
Put down the step, rise, speak, don't let it go. Let your love,
That's
let your
it.
truth be known.
Inhale the future. Exhale the past.
Start with yourself. Start today and watch the world slowly find its way. These days, we all feel lost.
Staying with this breath in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Caught in chaos in our own little rhymes. But real change is closer than it seems. Starts with the love.
Good. Good.
Dreams you dream.
As you breathe, notice what has been holding you back. Just notice.
Every heart you mend starts from within, is where it begins. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Lift your heart, open up.
Noticing any fears, any stories, any what
Speak, don't let it go.
I can't,
Let your love, let
what
your
ifs.
truth be known.
Just noticing.
These days, the power's in your hands. Be the light in a world that needs to stay.
And just keep breathing.
Start with yourself. Start
In through the nose, out through the mouth, and perhaps you pick up the pace on this breath just a little bit. Just notice how it feels. You're safe.
Ooh, you can't wait for anyone else. Change the heart, the soul within yourself, step by step. The ripple will grow.
Animals love when we do breath work, welcoming them in as part of your experience.
Let your light show. If you want to change the world, start with yourself. Lift your
That's it.
heart, open up. Put
Inhaling
down the
your
step.
power
Rise, speak,
and exhaling
don't let it
doubt.
go. Let your love, let your truth be known. These days,
That's
the
it.
power's in your hands. Be the light in a world that needs to stand. Yeah. Start with yourself. Start today and watch the world slowly find its way. Start with yourself. Yeah.
Just a couple more of these deep breaths in through your nose. Again, breathing in your power, exhaling any self-doubt. As we start to transition to the 3-part breath, opening your mouth, breathe into your belly, up into your chest. Exhale, let it go. That's it. Finding your pace, your cadence. Choosing depth over speed. Good. Filling yourself completely. That's it. Remember that future version of yourself 12 months from now. Let that version take you on this journey. You are safe. Belly. chest. Exhale. Starting to feel the fire, feeling the energy moving, transmuting through your body. That's it. You are stronger than the stories that you once believed. And the beautiful part of stories is we get to change the stories. We get to change the ending. You get to create it. And you are safe to do so. That's it. You are safe to be in your body. You are safe to experience. You are safe to go after your desires, letting go of anything that is holding you back. Starting to move your body, if that feels good, shaking out your hands, letting that energy move. I've got you. Your future self is not fragile. They are resilient, powerful, and unshakable. That's it, staying with this breath. You are safe. And the invitation is to start to step into that future version of you. Imagine stepping into the body of your future self. Remember how this version carries himself. That's it. That's it. Yes, shake it off, move your body, take up space. You are safe to take up space. You are safe to be you. Remembering who you are at the core. I've got you. Every shadow tried to block your chance, but you got dreams of fire, a plan. It's time to leave, time to stand. Stand tall, no chains can hold you. Your heart's alive, the truth will show through. No turning back, it's your hour. This is your time to take back your power. Step into your power. That's it. Each exhale you are releasing and letting go. Each inhale you are calling in your power. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be seen. You are safe to be in your body. No more waiting, no you are meeting against resistance, stay with your breath. I've got you.
Step into your power, don't look away. This is your rise, your brand new day. You're unstoppable, unshakable. Nothing can break your soul today. Step into your power, let the world see the strongest version of you and me. Step into your power, take your space. You're enough, you're bold, you're full of step into your power, let it unfold. Your story's alive, your spirit's
That's it.
bold. Step into your power,
Dropping
shine
deeper
your
into your body
light.
now. Just
This is your
noticing
moment, your birthright.
you are safe to be here. You are safe to breathe.
Been looking everywhere.
Going deeper into your body, allowing clarity to wash through you. The hesitation begins to soften. That's it.
Running today. Silence has something to say.
If emotions rise, let them. You are safe to feel. You are safe to express.
Found my way. Found my way home.
You don't have to know your next step. You don't have to know. You only need the next aligned move. And you're here. You're already there. Showing up for yourself. Showing up for the past version of you, the present version of you, and the future version of you, all at the same time. Here in this moment.
All this time searching outside, what I needed was inside. Found my way home.
That's it.
Found my way home.
Letting your breath sweep through your body. Moving that energy.
Found my way.
You are in the final minute of this breath pattern. And you choose to go just a little bit deeper or perhaps a little faster. Listen to your body. What does it need in this moment? Listen to your future version of you. That's it.
Found my way home. Found my way. Finally found.
That's it. Meeting that version of you with no armor. That's it. You are safe. Slowly release this breath pattern. And for a few moments, just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, slow and deep. Slowing the energy back down.
I walked through shadows, lost my way, yeah.
That's it.
chasing voices that weren't mine.
That's it.
Every mirror showed a stranger. Every heartbeat out of time. I let the world decide my name. Forgot the rhythm in my chest. Now I'm learning I'm not broken.
Allowing yourself to listen, slowing the breath down even more.
I'm coming home.
Good.
Piece by piece, I'm not alone. The light I bury starts to show. I'm ready now, I'm ready to grow. I'm finding me again, the me I thought I lost through all the nights of doubt. I'm rising from the frost. I'm finding me again, strong, unafraid, and free. Every scar's a story, every breath belongs to me. I hear the whispers of my soul, soft but steady, calling
And when it feels good to fully release this breath,
no more hiding.
just coming back to your natural breathing rhythm with no effort, no thinking,
Can break me through.
and just allow yourself to be in stillness for a few moments.
Scattering in the past.
I've got you.
Start building me
You are safe.
brick by brick. I've learned the hardest road to walk leads straight back to me. Step by step, I'm coming home. Piece by piece, I'm not alone. The light I bury starts to show. I'm ready now, I'm ready to grow. I'm finding me again, the me I thought I lost through all the nights of doubt. I'm rising from the frost. I'm finding me again, strong, unafraid, and free. Every scar's a story, every breath belongs to me.
That's it. And if it feels good, bringing your hands to your body, perhaps a hand on your belly, a hand on your chest, or both hands to your chest, and just feel what it feels like to be in your body right now in this moment. And can you show yourself some compassion? You might even still feel the energy pulsating through, or even emotions still coming through. You are safe to be here. You are safe to be you. Can you feel your heart beating in this moment? Can you feel the ground and the support underneath you? Perhaps even feeling the air on your skin. And saying to yourself, thank you, breath, for clearing the way. Thank you, body. I love you. As you thank all the parts of you that showed up today. As you start to deepen your breath again, just for a moment, and just notice how your breath feels now compared to when you first started. Noticing if there is a difference. You might even start to bring a little bit of movement to your body. If you're lying down, maybe it feels good to roll over to one side and just give yourself a hug. And if you're seated, perhaps you still give yourself a hug. That's it. And just take your time here to slowly make your way back into the space. There's no rush. We're going to take a few minutes here. If you need to stay where you are, stay where you are. And if you're ready to come back, you can slowly just start to blink open your eyes or gently bring yourself to a seated position.
Now the quiet, it leads me as a guide, lifts my eye to the dawn. I see you now, already gone on the fallen bar.
I'm going to take just a couple minutes here just to allow everyone to just reground back in, process your experience.
Breathing slow below. Are you close to awakening? Are you tracing the sign you receive? Gentle and slow, sacred. Are you learning to breathe? When you're running and weary, all you really have is now. There's another way beneath your feet. It's all for love, I vow. Hear me now. There is nothing that is
Welcoming you all back into this space.
stumble, you rise.
Welcome back. I would love to just take a moment. First off, thank you for trusting me to guide you through this short journey. If you hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize. One of my kids just got home. But I do want to take a moment and just, if anybody wants to share your experience or have questions about your experience, and maybe it's just a simple statement of, I felt tingles in my hands. I would love for someone to come off mute and share your experience if you feel called to.
Yeah, I can come off mute here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Hi, Shay.
Hi. Yeah, wow. Just absolutely wow. I cried. I don't know if you it was just like rolling. Honestly, I didn't even like nothing even came to mind at all. It was just like obviously it wasn't meant to, right? And that's fine.
Yeah.
I was shaking almost the entire time. I'm still shaking a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, just absolutely wow. And like thank you also. You're thanking us, but thank you for guiding us through that. Like just breathing, like you said. And that's just absolutely
Yeah.
wild. Absolutely wild. Just
The
in awe.
power of our breath. Welcome to
Yeah,
Breathwork, Shay.
thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Ah. Anyone else feel called to come off? Hi, Joanna.
Hi. Um, I just want to echo part of what she said. Thank you. It's been a few months since I've seen you, and your email came into my inbox for this at the perfect time where I needed you and didn't know I did.
Hmm.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm always here for you. I'm always here for all of you. Thank you.
You-
Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, just a couple other things that I do want to share with you guys before we jump off of here. And first off, when it comes to breath work, our bodies are still processing and integrating for a couple days. So please know that I always say emotionally sensitive. You might feel emotionally sensitive tomorrow, and that's normal. Okay. Breathwork also pumps our lymphatic system. So it's very important to make sure that we drink extra water, maybe some herbal teas, grounding, nourishing fruits and vegetables to help flush our bodies because it's not just an emotional detox, it's also a physical detox. And also know that I'm here. So if you have questions or if anything comes up, email me, send me an email. Or if you've got me on social media, send me a message on social media. I'm here to hold space for every one of you, okay? And so if today's breathwork spoke to you, what you just experienced in 20 minutes is why this work changes lives. It's completely life-changing. And there's a couple different if you want to continue your work with breathwork, there's a couple different paths that you can take. And one of them is the Embodied Breath Facilitator Academy. And this is a 6-month trauma-informed certification program. It's designed to deepen your healing, um, not just for yourself, but deepen your healing with others. And even if you're like, oh, Chelsea, I don't know if I really want to facilitate, that's okay. If you want to learn more and just deepen your own personal healing, if you have a family, you have a toolbox now. You have tools for not just yourself, but for others as well. And so in this program, we do have live calls, practices, there's peer connection, community, an opportunity to have a soul-led business if that is a path that you choose to take in this, and making a living doing what you love. And I wish, oh, Ryan had to jump off. He's one of my students, so it would have been fun for him to speak a little bit too for you guys so you could hear from him. And so in this, the Embodied Breath Academy, the price is for you guys $4,000. I do offer payment plans. I am giving everyone here $500 off, but you must register by March 6th. We do officially start the 6-month training program on April 4th. And for the first 5 to say yes, you will receive a special welcome gift. And I also have one spot for a breathwork apprenticeship. And so what this means is not only will you be doing Embodied Breath Academy, but you'll be working personally alongside me the entire time. So you'll be in the academy itself as a group, but you'll also be having private calls with me. If you are local, you'll be working, right next to me in my group events as well. And so that is something that if that is something that you are interested in, I will be, we'll just connect and we'll chat about what that looks like from there. And I'm going to go ahead and just drop the link for the Embodied Breath Academy in the chat, which you will all receive an email for it too. Is the academy in person? No, it is a virtual program, so we will be meeting virtually, and then if all of the live calls are recommended, but we know that life happens. They are on Saturdays, 12 to 2 Eastern Time. So if you're not able to make a live call, it is also recorded and put into a membership site. And then Masterclass is going to be the special coupon code that you will use to receive the $500 off. And so if you do a payment plan, that $500 off will actually come off of your first month's payment. So again, if you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know. But there's a lot of information on the website that I just provided. And the other pathway is my in-person events. I do those monthly in Grand Ledge and also in Old Town. So if you are local, I do those in person. Starting in April, I will be offering more virtual opportunities to do breath work. So that will be I'll be offering 4 times a month virtual opportunities to practice breath work. It would be an hour-long breathwork journey. And in that time too, if the times don't work out, they will be recorded and you will have access to the recording for 72 hours for the virtual. But yeah, I want to thank you guys all so much for joining. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop my screen share. And will you have a link to this recording? Yes, I will send you'll receive it in an email and you can just forward her the email 100%. So I'm going to stop the screen share. And then if anybody